Well, hello and a very good afternoon to you. We've got a fantastic hour now with Pink Frog Crafts. Absolutely adore this company, adore all their wares. And I've got the gorgeous Claire with me. Good afternoon, my darling.
Good afternoon.
So tell us, I mean, people probably do know you, maybe they don't know you. Your involvement with Pink Frog Crafts, and who are they? I know, but...
Pink Frog are they're a family business. I've been very lucky to work with them on a different level for a long time. So I've known them a long time, but I get to work with them a lot closer now. So it's absolutely, they're just lovely people and fabulous products.
Fabulous is the word, absolutely. And we're going to start with one of their stock staples, the Super Smooth card.
Definitely. Love Super Smooth.
And we've got loads of different sizes because we are doing a bit of a happy hour with these deals. So you've got an £8 saving on my first, this one for the happy hour, I should say, because it's going to make you happy the rest of the hour anyway. So this is my happy hour deal, I should say. So this is 160 sheets, 300 GSM, and oh, that has got a bit of heft, doesn't it? Now, until 4 o'clock, that will remain at £13.98. But of course, come 4 o'clock, we'll be back to £21.98. And I tell you what, it's got a good old weight that has. You know, your postage and packaging would be close to that price, quite frankly, not unless you're going through Hochanda, of course. Fantastic. Now, you bought these boards, which I have seen, Claire, but I'd be really grateful of your knowledge and insight in terms of just how brilliant the Super Smooth is. So as we go through them, if you wouldn't mind just expressing, you know, tell me a little about why Super Smooth is the must-have.
So Super Smooth it's just our go-to card every day of the week. So not only can we do all these techniques with it, but it's the same quality all the time as well, and that's really important. So it's the same white, it's the same, you know, it's that 300 GSM. You can do all those things with it. So
it's smooth, there's no texture.
No, so we can use all of our distress inks on it, we can use distress oxides, we can put some water on it, got paint on there.
You wouldn't think the water, you think you'd have to go through your watercolour card, wouldn't you? But
and we'd use watercolour for different things, but you can see how we've used kind of water on it. And some of those techniques we've used 4, 5, 6 layers,
yes,
so you know, and it retains its integrity.
And talking of integrity, you can see the integrity of the quality of the implements you're using, especially when it comes to your dyes and your alcohol pens and your oxides. You really get that pop of colour, don't you?
Yeah, so it's really unusual to be able to find a card that will work with alcohol markers but do all your stamping techniques on it as well.
Yes.
So the fact that I can just pick that sheet of card up in any size that I want, put 3D onto it.
That's
so obviously
sturdy.
we've used an embossing folder there, and then put some gilding wax over the top. Stencils, you see, we've put probably 3, 4, 5 layers of ink on that.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom you've got the alcohol. Well, we've got watercolour there. So we've put a bit of water on it, and it doesn't
buckle or compromise the card.
Yeah, it doesn't fluff up.
Yeah, absolutely. The watercolour pens are amazing. I mean, look at that pop of colour. And we know watercolour traditionally is quite watery.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Alcohol pens.
Beautiful.
So they blend beautifully. You can go over several times and again.
And stamping, you get that precision with your stamps, don't you? Because of the quality of the card.
Yeah.
Well, switch over to, because these are just ideas, but it just shows you the quality. They're all done on the Super Smooth. And I mean, look at that for embossing. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, just amazing, that clarity, that quality. You get all the detail out of your stamp there.
Yeah, so you can put heat on it. So again, it hasn't buckled under the heat. Die cutting, you know, intricate die cuts. You know, and again, it holds itself really well once it's die cut. It doesn't fall apart. Just some plain embossing there. Beautiful,
but just shows you the quality. You know, if you've got your embossing folder, you don't want to be putting through your substandard card because you want to see the embossing, don't you?
Definitely, and it doesn't rip or tear. It just shows the pattern as it should be shown.
Brilliant.
Similarly with kind of a letterpress technique, so putting ink through our embossing folder with it. You know, by putting ink on something, you are adding water in some way.
Yeah.
So again, that's pressed into that absolutely fine. Construction.
Super duper.
You'll see that we make kind of lots of frames.
Everything and anything, quite frankly. Yeah, amazing construction.
It's lovely to doodle on as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we're looking for a bit of mindfulness, just grab a little piece and doodle away. There, we've kind of tried to see how far we can push super smooth, so it doesn't look smooth anymore. And we've just scrumpled it up, put ink over it, and again, it looks like a completely different piece of card. Absolutely
stunning, and that's embossing with a stencil, which is notoriously hard, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've put. We use a wet wipe and ink, so it kind of lifts the colour off it as you put it through. So it makes it quite damp when you're doing that, and it dries absolutely flat, apart from the raised design on it. So again, it just keeps its structure.
And like you said, no, there's not losing any of that quality of that paper with its sort of little bits of, you know, coming off or fluffing
no, so when you've done these techniques, you can then turn it into a craft project, a finished thing, because that's ultimately what we want to achieve. We want to make pretty things or grungy things, but we do want to make something at the end that we can either give away or keep. So,
and that looks good, and you've got your materials at home, so you know you don't want to compromise those. You want them to look good, so you want to apply them to some quality. Pink Frog Super Smooth A4 card. That's a happy hour deal till 4 o'clock. It'll go back to £21.98 at 4 o'clock, and nearly 40% already gone. So many people use this, trust it, know that 5-star quality there. Might not last the hour, I'm afraid. It could be gone before the end of the hour. So please don't rely on us saying, oh yeah, we got it till 4. It could be the stock before the clock. Right, we have some other sizes. I love this. I was saying to Claire, I'm always trying to channel Hazel when I'm talking about these. Now there's different sizes for different reasons. So the first one is 15 by 30, Claire, and we are getting folding instructions with each of these sets. So why the different sizes, Claire?
Different sizes mean you waste less card. So if you go to cut some of these sizes out of A4, you can't do that. So we've gone 15 by 30. So 30 is a little bit longer than A4. So it means all of our folds are a lot easier to do.
Right.
So if you want to fold a piece of A4 in half, it's a really strange measurement.
It is, you're right.
But 15 by 30, it's 15 centimetres straight down. So we can make, we've kind of focused on more of the square cards for this show, really. But we've got ordinary squares, we've got gatefolds. You wouldn't even believe that that was almost white to start with, just the amount of colour we've
beautifully stamped and distressed and
put on it.
Yeah. Lovely.
You know, but gatefolds, Z folds,
easel
kind of 2/3, all kinds of different things.
Look at these. Beautiful.
And for me, the 3 sizes that we've got on today are all my go-tos for making standard card sizes, for making my square cards. I love a square card. I think it just frames your image beautifully. And it's you know, they're nice measurements to work with.
They are, and we're getting all of those folded instructions as well. Plus there's a kind of a bonus, I know it's by the by, but you're also getting the 30 by 30 frame instructions because it's on the back of the other ones. So well done you. $14.99, you get 150 of those sheets, 300 GSM, 15 by 30, 906395. And now, this is again, the next option, we're getting the 18 by 36, but in this one, we're getting these beautiful pearlised envelopes. These are gorgeous, Claire.
They are. And again, they'll just add that bit of luxury to your project. So 18 to 36 is our newest card size. So I think we launched those with Hazel just before Christmas. So we haven't seen an awful lot of those. And again, they sit kind of in the middle of a, you know, not maybe a super big card, but just give you that little bit more space to play with and design and
I remember this
colour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful size.
It is fantastic. So there's, you know, a lot of the similar sort of folds. We're getting the square card, the gate fold, you know, the tri-fold, the easel card, the Z fold, as you were explaining to me. You know, we'll get all of those instructions in there as well. There's our easel card. Beautiful. And you can see from the designs as well, the quality of the Super Smooth. I mean, look how beautiful, you know, the stamping there, the blending. I mean, it's just second to none. Why would you have?
That's a Hazel special.
Oh, I know. That's a Hazel. This one's a Hazel because I remember she made it. I remember that one because she at the Mylar, she made her own. Oh, you made that? Oh, she copied you, Claire. She copied you.
We're a team. We work together.
See, I've
don't you cause
fessed her up there, haven't I? She made some circles out of the Mylar.
She did.
I thought
We've both been doing that because it's such a good technique.
Well, I'm going to dig myself out this hole. 11.99, 108 866. 50 of the Super Smooth, the 18 by 36, and 50 of those gorgeous envelopes. £7.50 saving. Fantastic. Now, let's change it up again. 20 by 40 of the Super Smooth. So, Claire, tell me more.
20 by 40. Basically, large cards.
Large cards is right.
Really difficult to cut yourself. Even if you've got big format card,
exactly.
Chances are you haven't got a trimmer that's big enough to do that.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to make those larger cards, I would say definitely go for the 20 by 40.
And look, you said construction. Isn't that amazing?
And lovely Caroline made that for us.
Caroline. We're going to talk more about the flowers as well as we go through the show. But, I mean, just look at the quality of the stamping. You're right, that would be a really difficult size to cut.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You need...
Sounds like the obvious, but boy, oh boy.
You need like a trimmer twice the size as the most of us have got at home. So for a starting point, it's an absolutely... You know, for me, I would definitely go for that size. Gorgeous,
Caroline. I love that frame there. And look at that. We've got a box there as well. Oh, that's beautiful. Don't forget the construction side of the... Oh, my... Look at this. Beautiful. Look at that for a card. Who wouldn't want that? Oh, sorry. Oh, hello. I know, I've got to show all these lovely... Just giving the inspiration. Look at this. You always have your beautiful mirror card. Anyway, so you've got all of your folding elements there as well. Twisted easel, inverted stepper, the pizza box. You saw it on there on the mini card. Pocket folder, tent card, handbag card. Anyway, you get all those folding instructions, which is a massive bonus. And all the measurements are sorted out for you. How you and Hazel keep it in your head, I do not know. 634 253 1499. Beautiful. And my final one now, this is, we were talking flowers, so I'll let you talk more about this, Claire. This is our A4 and inkjet and laser printable.
Yeah, so Super Smooth.
Yeah.
So it's got all of the qualities that our Super Smooth has. So it's the same colour, and I know it's white, but it does mean that when you're using that with the 300 GSM, it all works together.
Yeah.
But if you want something a bit lighter, maybe if you're matting and layering, and for me, I've used it in a lot of this flower construction that you'll see
behind me here.
And we're going to do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit lighter, so it's easier to manipulate.
More malleable.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about these dyes, in a bit.
But you'll see, I think you've got some samples there.
Yes, talk to me about these then, Claire.
I was just having a bit of a play with it, but you'll see that we can do quite a lot of the same techniques that we can do with our heavier Super Smooth.
I thought these were printed cards.
Yeah,
I did. I just thought,
just some inks, and we'll do some of those techniques through the demos.
Beautiful.
So
you were just doing some backgrounds.
Just some inks with some of our background stamps and texture stamps. I think there is a bit of texture paste on that. I was seeing how well it'd take texture paste. But that's had some water on it as well.
Gorgeous. So, fantastic.
It holds up really well.
And like you said, that versatility because of the GSM, ink printable and what did we say? Laser, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll go through your printers. Not all printers will take the heavier card stock.
That's right. Fantastic.
So this
jelly plates
go through.
And oh, just amazing. Just beautiful, beautiful. Very soft, faint one there. Don't you? Yeah, lovely stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit pale.
Hello.
And a bit of yellow.
I love it. That's my favourite. £10.99, 100 sheets. Beautiful quality. 019281. Now tell me about the new glue.
The new glue.
Oh, da 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 da.
We have been waiting so long for this.
We have.
Hazel's had it a bit longer than me, but I've had it since about November time.
Oh, right.
And I am absolutely in love with it. I just use it for so much. So it's great for kind of your basic crafting, so your matting and layering.
Yeah.
But also it's great for construction. In the glue bottles that we've got, that we're coming to, that are, we have got back, it flows really well. So it comes out a nice steady stream, but also it's acid and alkaline neutral. So it does mean that it's archival, it does mean that it's not going to yellow, it does mean that it's not going to go brittle.
Won't ruin your photos.
No. So...
Because we say that sometimes, alkaline and pH. What did you say to me, too? Alkaline and...
We can't say it's lignin-free, but lignin tends to be in card because it's a tree product. But it's definitely... let me get this right, alkaline and acid neutral. So it's pH neutral.
Well, the reason I wasn't even any of that. It's just like, what does that mean to me? Do you know what I mean in crafting terms?
So in crafting terms,
so that's why I love that you said about...
It's an archival glue. It's used a lot in kind of book binding and book repair. So that's the quality of it, really.
And then he says it doesn't go brittle and we can use it on photos. There was that element that I was, because we say it sometimes, you think, that's great. What does it mean? Yeah, fantastic. £13.99, very busy. We waited quite a while for this. 538442, nearly 40% of that is gone. Grab that now while you can. Yeah, great for your construction, great for your detail work, and yeah, brilliant. Now, we just popped in there. You know I love a non-clog bottle from Pink Frog, and we've got them back here. Last time I talked about them, they're on a slide. Whenever they're on, they're gone. And are we right? We can use this. Would you say in the larger one or?
I've got it in both.
Oh, Claire, you devil, you.
I know. I'm very lucky because I've got two sets of glue bottles. So in mine, in the slightly larger nib one, so the 0.5.
The 0.5. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I have got the archival glue, so the neutral pH adhesive. I've got that in both of mine, and it comes out beautifully in both. Not a problem. And then in my other set, in the bigger one, I have got the collal glue. But also I've got my other best one, apart from our new glue, is I've got glossy accents in the thinner one.
Yes, I remember Hazel saying get a couple of sets.
Oh, it's a game changer for your glossy accents. It really is. I've had less bubbles. I can do fine detail work with it. So yeah.
Forgive me, I'm so long-sighted when I'm just trying to do. There we go. If I rested up against my finger. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, it's fine. So yeah, but yeah, I've been really happy with my non-clog bottles.
They're amazing, because how many times do we stand as crafters and go, oh, it's clogged up again, I've lost my pin?
We were talking about it as well. I have used, my glue usage has gone down.
Really? Because the application is finer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to save in the long run.
So I quite often used to have glue on the back of my hands where I'd be dabbing things on.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No. Better for your skin.
I can put little tiny bits, but even when I'm using bigger bits, I can put a thinner coat over everything. So honestly,
they're a go-to. They're a must-have.
They are definitely a must-have.
And that pin in the lid means you're not going to get that clog. And get a couple of sets. You might have got a set before, get another set. So like Claire, you know, you've got your glossy accents in there. You might have your different glues in there, our new glue here. And as you know, whatever other ones, you know, so do get a couple of sets there, because I promise you, they're gone. £12.99. You can split the cost with our Flexi Extravaganza as well between now and January and February. 603282 is the number to remember. On the web is everything we've talked about, as well as other fantastic pink frog classics. I'm going to mention these dies before I do wander off. And also, look on there, we've got the lovely pollen on there as well. But anyway, you go to the web, you add it to you want to say, I want to create a Flexi order. That will split that individual payment there into £6.50 in January, £6.50 in February. Doesn't matter how much you're spending, as long as it's over £5, which would be anything on the show live. So just split, and you can, you know, make that order bigger. So add, you know, get 2 lots. 2 lots. Right, we mentioned the dies before. We'll go to Claire. So these are fantastic, because you can make more with them than you think at first glance, can't you, Claire? Definitely.
I think you look at them and think it's just a little 5-petal kind of flat flower, like you can see on the top white on the board, and you would think, you know, maybe a starfish with it. But then as soon as you start playing with them, you can see, and I've just picked 8 different ones there. So we've obviously got rose, poppy.
Sort of like a gerbera sort of.
Yeah,
kind of.
I think the one at the I think there's carnation, pansy, and agwil something or other is the one at the end. I'll look it up.
Pretty, isn't
that's so pretty. I've loved making those. But even daisies, all of a sudden, just by layering 2 together, it just lifts your project.
And so snipping the ends there, just give them a little bit of different shape, and that's from those 2 dies.
Yeah,
these 2 dies here. Absolutely fantastic. My gorgeous Jimmy, you've deselected. 329712, £12.49 for those fantastic Britannia dies, the multi-flower rose die. And next we've got the multi-flower one. So how does this differ then?
They're the same, they're just smaller. Size. Yeah. So it just means, and for me, I love kind of these you know, 2 sets together really, because it means I can do my big flower and then put little ones around it. So when you're thinking of putting them on projects, on frames, on cards, you can put, you know, lots together and break it up, and kind of that, you know, in 3s and 5s and things like that, and make them sit together. But I just love the 3D kind of element with it, and they look, you know, fairly realistic, but we've also used the stamps a lot on those, on the backgrounds. Those backgrounds.
Bit of writing on that one there. That's beautiful. Or just cutting out your coloured paper. So musical notes,
Yeah, so if you're kind of like, oh, I'm not very good at colouring, just by adding a bit more texture on there, can just take them to a different level.
And these gradiate down, these are the next 2 sizes. If you get all 3, you could sort of decoupage on top of one another. And I love as well as the fact that you've got the hole in the middle, so should we wire stem it, or want to pop something through there? We've got that option, haven't we, with the dies?
Yeah.
£15.99, 508079. Rightio. I've got some Scotch removable tape, and I know this is a loved item. Why is this so good, Claire? I love it, but tell us why.
It holds things in place, but when you take it off the card, it doesn't damage it in any way. So we use it to hold dies in place while we're die cutting, but we also use it for kind of masking techniques. You can mask things off with it. But yeah, the fact it doesn't damage your card, and there's an awful lot of it as well.
There is 36 yards in either, 72 yards. Goodness gracious me. So 32.9, so, oh wow. It's over 75 metres there. Fantastic. Gosh, amazing. Yeah, to mask, to on and off, and not leave any residue. Just amazing. 13.99, 13.99, 13.99, 999-217. Let's talk red liner. Now, we have red liner tape, but this is some meterage, isn't it, Claire?
It is, and what I love about it is the amount that you do get on each roll. So it's 6 times more than you would get on a standard roll, and you're getting it all on one roll. and the fact that you're getting all 4 sizes as well.
Yes.
So whatever project you're doing, it's going to be perfect.
Great for the construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, your bags, your boxes, your frames, your layering, your card making.
Anywhere where you want that instant but really strong stick.
Grip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because normally, sometimes, how much do we normally get on a roll? Not 50, I don't know.
These have got 30 metres on, so you normally get 5 metres.
5 metres, yeah,
so,
the other way round.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30 of the 3 and the 6, the 9 and the 12 consecutively there as well. What a great price point. 13.99, 825, 810. And so we've got our beautiful flower dies. Let's introduce the pollen. Now we're getting all of these, aren't we, Claire?
Yeah, all 6, and then on top of that, there's nothing to stop you mixing them together to make even more colours as well. So if you want a bit of a dappled effect, you can do that.
So in each one, there is a whopping 30 grams. It's going to take you a long time to get through that. Whoa! Sorry, everybody. It's just like I've opened a pot of sunshine. Oh, the yellow's amazing. Look at that. That is happiness in a pot. Tell you what, you fill it to the brim, Claire.
Value for money.
I thought, crikey, I thought it was going to spill out everywhere. You are getting more than that. Value for money. It's not like one of them pack of crisps where you open it up and it's halfway down the packet. Do you know what I mean? That is to the brim. So we've got those beautiful colours. You've got almost like a mustard and ochre, that bright yellow, that lovely coral pink, the black, the brown. How would you describe that colour? Sort of like a...
It's almost like a sand.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, sandy sort of ginger. It's beautiful. That's actually sort of quite orangey when you look at it on the flower itself there. Beautiful. £19.98. 199, 154. A couple of stills just to mention, a couple of images. The mylar, well, that's what I started rattling on about. That card and hazel and the circles, oh, she'll kill me. £11.99, 6 sheets. It's big. They're 12 by 12s. And make your own masks and stencils. They're brilliant. They're on the show today. Got the happy stamp set. Oh, you know now this is a favourite of mine. That script is the tiniest script I've ever seen on that stamp, and you can actually read it. And those are the poppy stamps when I was waxing lyrical the other week about the beautiful black stamp Hazel did of the poppy, and then she watercoloured and made it all bleed in the red around. Oh, it was just a little slice of heaven. £14.95. Please don't miss out on that stamp set. It's amazing. 441936. And then sunflowers. Oh, beautiful. Because this is you venturing into the stamps, isn't it? And you've got some cardstock here. 5 of the super smooth, 5 of the watercolour. 439633. Well, that's a great get started and get stuck in, isn't it? £14.95. You've got the card ready to go there. And then we've also got same deal, but with a sunflower wishes stamp, so just a slight different configuration, but with your super smooth and your watercolour. £14.95, 194 941. Next up, we've got flowers and verses. Oh yes, now these are beautiful. I've seen these fabulous verses. £14.95, 486 364. We've got the daisies. So sorry, I'll be with you in a moment, Claire. Daisies. So there's just so much on the show. Too many bargains. I know. Look at these savings. £14.95. But shop ahead by brand. 673 377. Then you haven't got to listen to me. 2 more textures. Do you have a favourite, Claire, while we're rattling through this? Oh, I like the textures. Oh, look at those.
I love that set.
That's a cracking set.
I am loving the textures.
Yeah, it's like
but then I keep going back to the poppy.
They're
and that
amazing.
script.
The poppies are a favourite of mine.
And then all of the others, I'm going back. So even though I've used 3D flowers, I've used all of the other stamps because I've used all the sentiments from them. So
fabulous.
So yeah, I can't and don't want to walk away from these stamps because they're beautiful.
There's your roses there. 688 544. Don't forget with Flexi Stravaganza, you can split that into 2 payments. That would be £7.48 this month if you went for that one, and £7.48 on the next one. Go for the poppies. Yeah, they're all beautiful, but go for the poppies. Do it. Right, OK, Claire, let's go to you, my darling. Don't forget the happy hour deal. That's all I'm going to say. Nearly sold out. What? What's it? Crack on. Quick, check out your baskets, Claire.
Well, I thought, seeing as we talked about frames and things like that, let's start with a frame card. And we're going to use our big 8x8 to start with. And that is the card that we are going to make. So
so this is the 8. So the cardstock you're using in our sets is...
Sorry, it's not 8 by 8, it's 20 by 40.
The 20 by 40,
so the
that
large
big one at the
format.
end. That lovely big, beautiful big size there. Yeah, that one here, that one lovely, yeah. Right, off you go.
Right.
Take it away, my darling.
So, nice easy start. We are just going to grab this. It's obviously already cut to the right size because we've just got it out of the packet. And we are going to score it at 20 centimetres. And that, straight away, will give us a lovely, beautiful, large square card. Simple as that. We'll then go on to making our frame that we are getting the instructions with, not with this size, but a lot of you've got the frame instructions anyway. So we will go ahead and score. I'll grab my instructions. So I'm going to score this. So I've cut mine a little bit longer. So this is, I've cut it out of the 20 by 40, but it's 21 by 10 centimetres to make each of the panels to go round the card. And I'm going to score it at 1 centimetre, 2.5, 5.5, and 7. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, and I'm going to do a 1 centimetre. So this is so I can have my little tab to make it join up even neater. And then at 4 centimetres. And I've already done 3 of these. So you don't have to stand here and watch me score all of those. I'm going to grab some scissors and I'll just show you how we cut this out. So let's move the scoreboard out the way. There we go. So to cut this out, we go down the little straight bit and then over to the corner, and then this is where we make our little magic tab. And this just means when they go together, it's even neater. Put that out of the way. Fold on all of your score lines. And then this is where your tape comes in really well.
Red liner. Your red liner.
It is, and I'm using the middle, well, not the middle one, but this is the 9
the 9mm, yeah.
And the reason why is this fits absolutely beautifully.
On that centimetre.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you keep that all in your head, I do not know. But the good news is we don't have to because it's on the instructions for you.
Yeah.
Hey. You and Hazel, you're twinnies. How do you keep it all in your head? Is it because you've just done so many now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always mesmerised by it.
So I'm just going to tidy that up. And then we'll just pull the backing off there. It comes off nice and easily. And then if we just fold that together, it makes our little tubes. So with these, what we can then do is we join them together. Ah. So here's 3, and I've used the tab, and then we're going to stick this one on. I haven't stuck that one very straight. I am going to grab one of our glue bottles, and because I only want a tiny, tiny bit of glue, I'm using the finer nozzle.
The 0.5?
0.3.
No, 0.8. Oh,
yeah.
There's a 0.8 and a 0.5, and the 0.5
there you
is
go,
the bigger.
this is the 0.5.
Right, okay.
I get them mixed up. So you can see I can just put a tiny amount of glue on there.
Yeah.
Hasn't gone anywhere else. Comes out nice and easily. Just wipe that and pop it back in, and I use my finger to help me guide it. And actually, randomly, I find it easier on there. Obviously, I can't do it now because there you
the TV's
go.
on you. Of course you can't.
There you go. I'm going to need it again in a minute as well, so I love the fact I've put it away. And then we just put that together, and that's our frame nearly done, believe it or not.
I'm just going to quickly apologise for the big queues we've got on the phone lines. If I can direct you to the web, it'll save angst and waiting. We know you're there waiting. We'll get to you as quickly as we can. I do apologise. But if I can direct you to, if you have access to the website, please act fast, especially if you want the new glue, that brand new beautiful EVA, sorry, forgive me, the slip of the tongue, I do apologise. EVA glue there, 225mm there. Limited stock, pH neutral, doesn't turn yellow when it ages, it won't, become brittle, great for your construction, great for your detailed work, great for the book binding and your box making. Limited stock, 13.99, 538 442. Great to put in those glue bottles.
The other thing is that I've been using it and I can't find any odour to it as well.
Oh, yes.
So,
because a lot of people don't like that. I
no,
personally do.
We were.
But I'm like that with the pens as well. Maybe
Yeah,
that says,
again, it doesn't particularly bother me.
But obviously, some people do find that quite potent.
Let's pop a bit of glue in there. But you can see I can just put the glue because I've put that in the wrong place. It goes on that corner. There you go. And then that will just squidge in there.
Oh, gosh.
And there is your frame.
That came together so quick.
It does, and they take, even when you like do all the bits from scratch, you can probably do one once you get into the flow of them, under 10 minutes easily to make a frame. So,
and that's using the 20 by 40, the large set of the card. You've got the folded instructions for that fantastic card frame, I should say, that Claire's just made as well. Do we call that sort of the pizza box? What do we call that?
No, this is actually just a frame, and I've just used our basic frame instructions to do a slightly different.
I don't know why I mentioned pizza box, because that looks like a pizza box.
We'll do a pizza box later.
Sure.
How's that?
Okay.
Now we're all hungry because you mentioned pizza.
So that is, you get 60 sheets in total, 634253.
On the back of this, I could use my red liner tape, but as soon as I've got my glue bottle in my hand and before I do the next bit, this has got time to dry. So my choice of glue is quite often as in, do I need it to set immediately or have I got a few minutes to play with? And what I quite like about using a wet glue is it gives me a few minutes to line it up.
Bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Now, Marilyn sent in a really good question as well.
Oh, Marilyn.
Come on. That sounded awesome. Oh, Marilyn.
No,
do you know Marilyn?
No, not yet.
Oh. She wants to know, does the new EVA glue work on mirror card?
Oh, I would still use a dry glue on mirror guard. I would always use a red liner tape.
So what are you saying, sort of avoid sort of
liquidy glue?
It's
the water in it that it doesn't particularly like.
Right.
But tell her we'll
try it.
We'll do a trial and we'll pop it on the Pink Frog page. So
okay,
she can
good question,
see.
Marilyn, good question.
But I think in general I would always use a dry glue. I would always use red liner tape with thing. So there we go, we've got the basis of our card.
Fantastic.
Straight away. So let's add a little bit of colour.
When you think of how much a card like that you'd pay for, I know we haven't done anything to it yet, but just the whole nature of that beautiful frame box element costs a fortune. Costs a fortune. Get your super smooth happy hour deal as well. Any of those, and look at this, any 3D elements that, you know, in a card shop, you're paying over the odds. Look at that, absolutely stunning. This one's made by Caroline there. And then we've got this other gorgeous one with, you know, anniversary. And we've got the lovely 180 GSM card as well on the show in the A4 for the flower making with those dies. So do bear that in mind as well, which is great for your printers as well. Right, back to our Claire.
I am going to use some of our lighter weights, our 180 GSM.
Oh, lovely.
Just because I could use the heavier stuff, but you know, you get an awful lot of this in the pack. So I found it's great for kind of matting and layering. But I want to show you that the ink blends on this in a very, you know, in kind of the same way as it does.
With the super smooth, yeah.
So we are just going to throw some colour at it. I've got some different daubers. And I've just picked kind of like a rainbow type effect. And I'm not too worried about how smooth my blending is at the moment, because I'm going to spray a little bit of water over it, which will soften it all together as well after. We've got a blue one. We've got a blue one.
Lovely.
I'm even going to try and put the lids back on before I mess them all up. So.
Gorgeous colours. You see, with your 180 there, the quality of that's super smooth, because that's what you're retaining, you said, didn't you, Claire?
Yeah, so the ink still goes on really well.
Did you say this is a fairly new GSM, this one? Or did I dream that?
I think we've had it a while.
I don't think. Oh, right. I don't think I've come across it myself.
I think because we like the heavier one, because again we can do the construction and we can do all our different card folds. That this one gets not forgotten, but you know, we just tend to, you know, we always pick up what's closest, don't we?
Yeah.
So, but I've really loved working with this. And
like you said, for your digital printing and all your printers,
yeah.
You're really going to see that quality, that image there on that super smooth, aren't you?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I haven't got the green.
Have we got any of the happy hour left? Is there? Are we very limited? Just to flag that one up. That I'll grab that quickly just while Claire's having a blend.
Having a bit of an ink.
She's having a bit of an ink there. She's not worried about the blending because she's going to do something else with the water. So we've got 100 sheets of 300 GSM A4. That price will go up, but as we said, we were worried more about the stock going before the clock. That's the happy hour deal for this hour, 617168. £13.98. Claire was using the 20 by 40, that very awkward shape, to try and cut it, as we were discussing, you know, in terms of having a guillotine large enough to encompass that shape, to get the size right, to have the card large enough in the first instance to cut that. Why have that heartache? 40%, nearly 40% of that has gone, £14.99, 634253. And we're now using the A4 180 paper there with Claire, and that is 100 sheets there for £10.99. And again, that's great for your printers and your digital printers, 019, your laser printers, 281. A third of the stock's gone, as well as your lovely card making, of course. Right, back to Claire.
And I did get my little spritzer out, and obviously now can't find it. There it is. It's hiding by the glue bottles. It's trying to make itself into a glue bottle. So if blending isn't, you know, if it's something you're not great at, if you've done it and you're kind of like, it's not great, if we give it a bit of a spritz, it's going to lift some of that colour off. And what it'll do is it just kind of makes it all a bit more mottled. So it just, you know, maybe hides some of those imperfections.
Great idea.
So just a little piece of tissue paper over the top, and that will give us our kind of mottled effect.
Lovely.
Give that a clear down.
And you've just, you know, even with the 180 super smooth there, look, that's taken that water. We've still got a lovely flat sheet.
Yeah, once that dries, that'll be
beautiful.
perfectly craftable. So rather than heat it, I have got one that I've already done, so we can use that. Because I try not to use wet card on my projects, so it just doesn't stick quite as well.
Sure.
So we have got this. Now what I want to show you is how we turn this into a frame to go onto our card. So how we basically cut the middle out of it. So we need our little bit of extender on our trimmer. So we're going to use our trimmer to do this. So at the minute, this is 20 by 20, and I want this to be, I'm going to just trim it down before we even start to 19.5 by 19.5, and then I just want to cut the middle bits out. So I'll put it to 2.5 there and take 2.5, so that'll go 17 to 2.5, and then we just turn it round, 2.5 there. And again, it's just the same measurements then on each side.
And don't forget the Flex Extravaganza event. You can split the cost into 2 payments during our event. Now that runs till the 15th. I don't know why, but I never had it in my head that you could just cut out the inside, because of course it's where you position the blade. Sometimes the simplest things, the most obvious things just don't occur to me.
If you wanted to, you could do it with a knife and a ruler.
Well, that's where I was going. I thinking, I'll be making poking holes and all sorts.
That now is the perfect frame, and it sits on there with a little bit of a white border, and that's it. And then we've also got...
You've got the insert there, not to waste it.
We've got the insert, which is a little bit too big at the minute. So, again, we can cut a little bit off this.
Are you just doing that guesswork?
I've taken about 1 centimetre off each side, so it stays square.
Yeah.
and that will go in the middle.
How lovely is that?
Of our frame.
Beautiful.
So, oh, I quite like that.
That's fantastic.
I've just realised
it's twisted around. I know,
yeah.
but I like that as well. The colours, yeah. We haven't kept it all in the same direction.
No. Whether I manage to stick it on the same way, it'll be, you know.
Could change again, folks. Don't forget the non-clog bottles now.
But I was going to say, you can just see with the bottles, it's just how easy it is to put the glue on.
You've got that
and how little glue that it uses.
Don't forget, you've got the little pin there in the lid, so you're not going to clog up. They're nearly getting limited, so please don't miss out, because people are buying more than one. You've got, I know I've seen the different glues in them, and obviously the EVA glue that we've got on the show today.
Yeah.
Perfect. Also, can you put something like the Collal?
Yeah, we've put the Collal all-purpose in, the one that we get in the really big
That's what I was thinking, the 1,000 litre one.
We've put that in it.
You've put in your glossy accents, haven't you, Claire?
Accents,
she's saved on her glue, she's using less, she's not smearing it all over her hand, she's saving money on hand cream there as well.
The other good thing is if you've missed a little bit, with the nozzles, it's really easy to get back in there as well. So
without having to lift it or buckle it or...
Yeah.
So good for those intricate dies. Once you've cut them, you dibby-dobby in a little bit and all the little bits, and you can get that precision. The EVA glue, very busy. Please don't miss out on that. That was, you know, the first time I've seen that. So
it is. It's brand new.
Brand new.
We've been waiting and waiting for it.
Yeah.
So we're very excited that it's actually.
I remember this being talked about last year.
It has. I've not managed to stick that quite straight. So then we'll go ahead and again we're going to use the paper. Got some paper. I'll grab some paper.
Oh, 180.
There it is. Yeah, so this is the 180. So the nice thing about 180 as well, because it's a little bit lighter, when you're die cutting it, it will cut with the flowers. It will cut two of the flowers together.
Ooh.
So if you're cutting lots and lots of flowers, which I've done over the past kind of week or 2 weeks, you can do that, and it's going to cut obviously 2 of that one and 2 of that one. So let's find the other plate and we'll just run this through.
So these are the dies we've got on the show. We've got the 2 different sets because we've got the larger ones, but you can see from the boards just how many different shapes you can create in terms of your flowers, your pansy, your rose, your carnation, your gerbera. Just by, you know, applying differently, lots of malleability there and cutting the edges differently. So that is our one, and that is £12.49. And then we've also got our smaller 2, so you could have all 3 and, you know, decoupage up. Our smaller 2, you know, they gradiate down in size as well. Same flowers, but of course on a smaller scale. So lovely to have the collection there and create a whole posy full. £15.99, 508-079. So this is what Claire's just using right now.
It is. So you can see it's cut. Oops, hello, there's my little pokey tool. So it's cut 2 lots out. There we go. Normally come out really easily. There it is. And that one. And then to make these into daisies, all we're going to do, there we go.
We've got about 6.5 minutes, just so you know, Claire.
So all we're going to do is just use a pokey tool and just bring these edges together. If you haven't got a pokey tool, you can do this. You can do these ones manually. You're just adding a little bit more dimension into there.
I suppose if you have your flower shaping tools already, some of our crafters have that, they can do it, or
yeah, I think most crafters have got, you know, some kind of pokey tools.
Yeah.
So,
and don't forget, we've got the lovely pollen on the show. 6 of the 30-gram pots there: the yellow, the ochre, the sort of salmon pink, the black, the brown, and I think what did we say? Gingery orange, isn't it? I can't quite make my mind up. You're getting all of them. This is gorgeous. Nearly a third of the stock's gone. That colour there is all I'm saying.
And again, the fine tip glue is great for just popping that glue on, you know, especially when you get down into some of the smaller flowers that we've got in there. You can do these. You can do the folding if you're a bit short of time. You can actually, as well as die cutting them together, you can actually fold them together as well.
Oh.
So, and if they're not perfect, that's all right, because flowers aren't perfect.
Exactly. Claire,
and that's going to be my excuse for my
well, it's true. Never a true word was
flower
spoken.
making.
Now the glue bottles, the non-clog glue, I did try to warn everybody, it's always on and it's gone. We're now limited, so please, please, please check out your baskets, because people will be buying more than one set. It's so, so popular. It's such a, I suppose it's often the simplest ideas are the best, aren't they?
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
And then all we've done is just added, again, a little bit of ink. You know, if you wanted to, you could stamp on these, but I've just used the ink that we've kind of got left on the daubers, really. Just to finish those off, and then we can just layer those into our frame.
That's that lovely.
We've got a bit of foliage in there as well. I think on the actual finish, the other sample, I stamped on these. So again, you can. Oh, I've got a bit of sticky glue. Ignore that. There we go.
Ah, yes. Did you? I'm not sure.
No.
Did you? I can't see now.
I think on the original one, I might have just put a bit of colour on these. So again.
Ah. Yeah. Oh, I see. There's like a kind of a.
I think it was the script that we put on there.
Yes,
the script,
in yellow. I hadn't realised what it was.
The script goes on everything.
Oh, script on that poppy stamp. All I'm saying is, don't have the heartache. Get it now. Shot by Brand, Pink Frog Crafts. There. It's a beauty. It's a doozy. I love that script. It's the tiniest script I've ever seen, but you can read it.
It is. It's amazing.
I did read me long-sighted glasses. There it is. I don't know what... Oh, does it come with... Oh, that's why. I was wondering why it was in the corner. You get the card as well. Sorry, I totally forgot to tell you that. You get 10 of the true red. So when you tear it, it's true to red to the core. 441936. Quite frankly, I was happy. $14.95 for that set of stamps. I hadn't even seen the card. So please don't miss out. It's such a corker. Flextravaganza is £7.48 this month, £7.48 next month. Beautiful.
So there we go, we've got that. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab from the Sunflower Wishes, we are going to grab Best Wishes, I think. There we go. We'll pop that into our stamping platform. And I've got another piece of card that I've already put a little bit of ink on.
Lovely. We got one of those for my little girl for Christmas.
She's loving it.
Oh, she's made up. She said to me the day, said, look at my unicorn card. It looks like I've drawn it. I said, yes, darling. So she just stamped it, coloured it in, and she's so pleased with herself. And off she went to make invitation. Yeah. She'd do anything. Yeah. Well, that's all we're going to be buying now. Yeah. She loves it. It's been a revelation. I have to get some coloured ink now for her because I just got black. But you have to see if they like it first of all, don't you? And see, you know, what's not to like? It's fantastic.
There we go.
And the sunflower wishes there are on the screen as well.
Dirty bit on that. So let's.
Yeah, that's where the sentiment is from.
It is. There we go. There you go. It's covered that up. There we go. So we can just cut that out and that'll be ready to go on our card.
Perfect time. We've got a minute and a half remaining. Please don't forget to check out your baskets. We are limited on the non-clog glue bottles. I know we were getting limited or getting there with the EVA glue, the happy hour deal. I'm not sure where we're at with that. And Claire is using the fantastic 20x40 cardstock. You get 60 of those in the Super Smooth. And you're also getting all the fabulous Pink Frog instructions. We've also got the 18x36 on the show. We've also got the 15x30 on the show of the Super Smooth as well. And the 180 GSM of the A4. And then split the cost as well, don't forget, on your Flextravaganza event.
A couple of these fabulous foam pads on the back.
This is speed crafting in the last 60 seconds. She can do it. You're back with us at 7 though, aren't you, Claire?
I am.
So if we didn't
and if I'd got time, I would have added some glossy accents to that just to make it stand up. But
Personally,
there
I don't
we
think
go.
you've done bad. Because you didn't have an hour, did you? We didn't get started until gone half past.
There
with
you
this.
go. Ta-da!
Absolutely fantastic. Looking absolutely gorgeous. That's using those beautiful dies. Like I said, using the fantastic 20x40 cardstock. You've got the folding instructions there. And the beautiful flower pollen. 6 pots there, 30 grams each. Lots on the show. Claire, you're amazing.
Thank you
so much.
It's been lovely to see you.
It's flown by, isn't it? Check out the 5-star reviews from Pink Frog, family-run company. Absolutely superb quality. We've got another happy hour as well with 7 p.m. with our lovely Claire. Thank you, darling. We'll see you at 7.